What's up, Brooklanders? Today I'm reviewing Blue Beetle, the new DC movie. Is it the DC Studios? Is it the DC EU? No one really knows. How is the movie? Is it better than Shazam? Is it better than The Flash? It's okay. The boy Xolo, I've been rooting for the guy, you know. I like him in Cobra Kai. He's a fun time in Cobra Kai. One of the better actors there. He just seems like a likable guy, and I want to see him win. I want to see him do stuff. He's got good raps. I liked him in the role of Jaime. I thought he was fun. He's the best character in the whole movie. He's the character that feels like he has the most life. And it's a good thing he's enjoyable, because if there's one character that's gonna be good in this movie, it better be him. And unfortunately, I don't think the rest of the characters really did it for me. I'm not saying they shouldn't have gotten any development, any screen time in this thing, because I like the whole message about, you know, the family making them strong, things like that. Blue Beetle? No way, I get my powers from my family, mi familia. A lot of them are just played for like comic relief. I'd say probably like all of them are comic relief except for Jaime's actual parents. You got the George Lopez uncle, you have his sister, you got Abuela. They're like all comedy characters. I think George Lopez has some funny moments, and I think that the sister actually has some better serious moments later on in the film, but in the first half of this movie, I think that they were just trying a little too hard to make her like the really funny, like, younger sister character, and it just didn't work that well for me. I think the best way to talk about Blue Beetle is to just say that I had fun with the movie. It's a fun film. There are silly moments, sure. There are really good moments too. Unfortunately though, aside from being the first Hispanic Mexican superhero, I don't think there's that much about this movie that makes it stand out. It's not like it's pushing the superhero formula any further. There's nothing in this movie you haven't seen done 1,000 times before, like I said, except for the fact he's Hispanic. And I like that. I'm glad we got that. Seeing things and being like, yeah, I relate. Yeah, I relate to that. That looks like my grandma's kitchen, you know what I'm saying? I told Randy afterwards, I said the best representation that I have in this movie is the damn cages on the windows, right? If you see the cages on Jaime's window, let me know in the comments if you got the caged windows. That was just super accurate to me. I was like, yeah, I've seen those caged windows a lot. I've seen them before. I will say sometimes though that in an effort to represent a certain community, the Mexican community, I think that it can lead to a few like stereotypes, you know what I'm saying? There's one scene that made me like laugh hysterically. Like Jaime gets home and he finally sees his family, and his family's like, okay, we gotta go get some tacos. Okay, Jaime, sheesh, you've had your tacos. Okay, can we talk about this now? I want to talk about the villains though, because, you know, I'm a villain guy. I like some villains. The main villain, I don't even know her name, like Cord or Mrs. Cork or something like that. Not that good of a villain. Not that good of a villain at all. I think they should have just focused on the second guy. I forget what his name is, but they should have focused on him because he had potential. But unfortunately, I think that the commitment to making this guy interesting was so last minute. It was a little too little too late, and then they just lead to the same like dumb trope we've seen 100 times of like the bad guy, wait for it, he's like the main character but he's a different color. He's got the same powers but he's red this time. He's Blue Beetle. Well, he's the red June bug. All right, it's something like that. It's all the same thing. Speaking of the Blue Beetle powers itself, I don't really know anything about Blue Beetle. The powers were fun when they were there, but it kind of suffers from that like Green Lantern syndrome of like, I can conjure up anything I can think of. Sword. Get creative. Think outside the box. Yeah, it's a fine movie. I liked Jaime. He's the best character. Everyone else, again, they're fine. They're not like bad characters. They have moments that shine, but nothing extremely compelling. Nothing like, you know, you're not gonna think of these characters so much moving forward. This one's a 6 out of 10. Here it is on the tier list. The one scene when Granny has the machine gun, she's like, rapido, all that stuff. Such a like, dude, that's like we've seen that a million times. Granny doing something crazy. Granny's cuckoo. Granny's loco. I don't like that.